Hey, sweet soul, welcome back to Conscious Lifestyle Coaching. My name is Rayleigh Easterling. Today's message is to channel your sexuality through your creativity. I want to share a little bit about not my sex life, but really my practice in abstinence and celibacy and how that has helped me develop a profitable career as a creative entrepreneur, and then also share the honest difficulties I've also had because of those choices. So, celibacy is a sacred sacrifice. It's an act of devotion to say that we are choosing the divine, we're choosing God over any other superficial pleasures. So, in that time of my life, which I spent in celibacy for a few years, I became sexually active at 16. And now that I'm becoming a mother, I would pray that my daughters and sons would wait as long as possible before they open that portal in their life. But it's also a human desire that is oftentimes unavoidable. So, ooh, I think a hummingbird just flew over my head. They really like this scarf. Anyway, so I chose to be celibate because I was in prayer to align with my divine partner, with my husband, and I wanted to protect myself as a young single woman from unnecessary pain and heartbreak and relationships that God didn't want for me. It was a very beautiful time in my life. It was very lonely, very, very lonely. Uh, just because you're celibate doesn't mean that you're not thinking about sex a lot. Um, so much so that it seems it's it's unavoidable. It's such a strong desire. And to be honest, towards the end, I don't know if it was beneficial in the long run. I mean, it was, but it still ended in a lot of heartbreak and awareness. I didn't want to look at. The person I broke my celibacy with didn't work out. I had this very religious conditioning in my mind that I would wait till I met my husband. It did not work out that way. And I was heartbroken over that. But in that period is where I produced two books. I was coaching for free for a whole year, and that's where I get a lot of my testimonials from and how I built my strategy for the coaching programs in my business that I know works. I trust it works. I'm not afraid to use it anymore and to charge what I charge for my services because they work. It's also in that time in my life I became very beautiful. I was focused on my self development, growing my own confidence, feeling beautiful in my own skin, focusing on my diet and what gives me joy. And ultimately, I tuned into the soul purpose. So I was very clear on who I was in this life and how I want to grow myself for the decades to come. And that helped me align with my husband ultimately. But I'm sharing all this because I'm speaking to someone who either you're seeking and praying to manifest your divine partner, your twin flame in this life, or you're trying to manifest more abundance through an authentic soul career, then I highly recommend channeling all that sexual energy into creativity. And it was in my celibacy time that I wrote so many poems. And again, it's what fueled me through those books. I wasn't distracted by having to maintain relationships or go on dates. I was truly just inspired and in the creative zone. And that flowed seamlessly from me and through me. And now that I'm married, it's difficult actually to tap back into that. And I'll talk about, the difficulties after celibacy, but first I want to encourage that if you are a creative entrepreneur, to set a period of your life, even if you are married, where you tell your partner, I'm going to focus on creating something. So I might be, more focused outside of our own intimacy. You might notice some changes in our intimacy because of it. And that's very valid. It's very clear. We're allowed to devote that time to ourselves as long as your partner, your wife or husband is okay with that and they see your vision and they support you and they love you. That's a beautiful, beautiful relationship that you have there. If you're single, the ego is going to want to tell you that it's not worth your time. It's more suffering to have to do this. Why can't you have love in your life and intimacy? And now you have to work so much. But that's a lie, it's an illusion. When you're tapped into that much creative channeling, you truly are fulfilled. It has its own type of ecstasy. To birth something into existence that is profound, beautiful, whether that's a book or an album or launching a business, whatever it is for you, when you see it come to life from you in source, it's the most incredible experience. And that is a fulfillment that no human being and no type of sex and intimacy can ever give to us. And I highly recommend giving it a try, even if it's just a 30-day period, a 6-month period, a year period. If you tried 3 years like I did, you will not regret it. So that all being said, now that I'm married, I have some difficulties um, giving myself permission to enjoy sex, for example, because I spent so much time convincing myself it was bad, I needed to avoid it, or I wouldn't be able to commit to my sole purpose first in this life. And that's a lot of conditioning. A lot of it is rooted in religion as well, and it's hard to enjoy it. Um, I mean, of course I do, but there's still this fear in the back of my mind that I'm doing something wrong. And I think a lot of women, especially, can resonate with that. Um, so that's something I'm struggling with now, and how to balance because I spent so much time channeling my creative energy into productivity instead of outside of sex. It's difficult for me to now find balance in having a sex life and creating. But instead of writing, now I'm speaking, so the energy looks different. And my partner, my husband, is very much my backbone in this to help keep me going, especially on days like today when I am so exhausted. So I say this not to cause you to fear celibacy or to not give it a try or to find that excuse, but to just offer ourselves grace as you shift from one channeling of that sacral chakra to another. It's going to come back if you let sex go for a while. There's that fear that you lose it or whatever. It will come back. It takes practice. And now I'm viewing sex more as a sacred act. It's more of a sacred time I want to set. Mm. And ultimately, the intention is to bond with my husband and to bring joy to one another. And I say this sincerely, like sincerely. It's not ever something just to pass time or because I'm bored. Because now I understand the value of sex energy. So I could either be producing a book or producing a baby, but seeing the value of our energy and protecting it. I'm really grateful. I spent a long time protecting that energy and channeling it into service for other people. And I'm grateful now for the patience I have in my marriage and how much we value our intimacy together. My husband also committed to celibacy before we met, so yeah, if you make that choice, again, to tune into your sacred creation time, just know if you're single, you're going to align with someone who will value what you're doing, will value your body, will value your creativity. So, this is just a reflection, nothing you have to do, just sharing some more vulnerability with you about myself. These mosquitoes don't leave me alone. And yes, to value your own creativity this time as if you are honestly making love with yourself, which sounds silly, but it's true. It takes a lot of intimacy with the self to be able to sit there and spend hours and hours, months and years in the creative process. So enjoy it. Fall in love with yourself. Take time with it. Indulge in it, please. You won't regret it. So that's the message today. Thank you so much for listening. If you're new, welcome to Conscious Lifestyle Coaching. If you've been here, as always, thank you so much for supporting. Thank you for liking these videos, commenting about your own spiritual journey, your conscious journey below. You can always read about my upcoming offerings in the description box. Please visit consciouslifestylecoaching.com. The 3-hour Ascension Seminar, Shift from Intention to Commitment, is August 9th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. It's an opportunity for those of us around the world to connect in real time, have group discussions, and we're going to meditate on several prompts together to have true clarity on what it is divine is speaking to us at this time for us to create. So that's very much in connection to today's message. And then following that is the opening of the 30-day coaching portal. It is my only 30-day coaching portal of 2025. I can only take 5 people in this program. So I think we have about 4 seats left. And in this program, we will meet every week for 1 hour individually. And I will follow up with personalized written emails of spiritual guidance, conscious business advice, journal questions, affirmations, prayer, and just loving support and accountability for you on your path to get it into motion. And that coaching program is for the dreamers. So if you're seeking more accountability and clarity on what it is you're being called to do in your soul purpose, this level 1 program is for you. So I hope to be that support to you. If you have any questions, you can read more about these programs again at my website, consciouslifestylecoaching.com, and feel free to send me an email. So that being said, I will see you in the next video. Peace and love.